just checking, waiting for this to come up. Okay, well, I guess it's okay. So, what do you think of Muhammad Ali and, I don't know, how about Jack Dempsey? What do you think of Jack Dempsey? Colt. God likes, how about so, what's your favorite Beatles song, Mr. God? He likes Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine. Octopus's Garden. I think he likes Obla-Di, Obla-Da. What do you think of David Cameron? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this fancy. Scan chart. I think you only get messages when the window manager runs. Okay, so what? Oh, scan chart. what I'm going to do is I just want so when we pause, so what do you think of Bill Gates? How about, what do you think of Elon Musk? See how it does that when I pause. What do you think of Jon Snow? Putin fell down on the ice. Muhammad Ali was probably something to do with the CIA. Which this is not working very well. We have to so it's not glitchy. Okay, what's your favorite, my mom's talking, I can't concentrate. She's talking about Girl Nation and some kind of, God's talking about Miss Universe. Okay, so what do you think of Syria? What do you think of Syria, Mr. God? Are they still fighting? Who's asking future? Yes. It means nothing to me. Homo. Okay, we get rid of Ashton Kutcher. History. We'll replace him with, what's Wafu? How about, Johnny Depp? Wow, what's Wafu? Why is Google slow? What's going on? Oh, it's like girlfriend. Okay, we'll keep it. Who's Noam Chomsky? He's like a philosopher or something, or a political guy. He's like, what's that one guy? I think he's a socialist. Yeah, why don't we put people, why are we putting, you know what, I have a good reason to put females in here. We'll put Anne Rand. Isn't it something like AYN? Why is Google so slow? What the fuck? Okay. So, what do you think of Ayn Rand, Mr. God? The Invisible Hand. The Invisible Hand Job. What do you think of, hey, what do you think of, what's her name? Jodie Foster. We just saw her on Silence of the Lamb playing a coal miner's daughter or something. How about, what do you think of dark matter? The ocean. Boy, the The album cover is kind of, what the fuck? Let's play one of our songs. God and I write songs. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to install I could swear I installed VirtualBox. If it has sound and it's fast, I should switch to VirtualBox. I think I might even have to buy it. What do you think, Mr. God? What do you think of VirtualBox? Okay, I'm going to, well, that's downloading. What? Is it busy? What is going on? Oh, it's progress, okay. Oh, I know it. You know physics, Mr. God? Mr. God says.
the screen to support what you'll be listening to next. Wherever you browse on our site, the audio continues uninterrupted. In fact, for hot temperatures, 108 or 9 for tomorrow and Sunday. Overnight lows in the mid to upper 70s. This is the BBC World Service at 6:30 GMT. You're listening to a special programme as we cover the news of the death of the boxing legend Muhammad Ali. Tributes coming in from around the world about the man born Cassius Clay, who converted to Islam after winning his first world boxing title in the early 1960s. I'll be talking to guests here in the studio and hearing thoughts from around the world about his life and his career. Before that, a summary of world news. BBC News with Jerry Smith. The boxing legend Muhammad Ali has died aged 74. The former three-time world heavyweight champion was admitted to hospital in Phoenix, Arizona on Thursday with a respiratory illness. His family has issued a statement thanking people for their...
Okay, so we have VirtualBox. Oh, that was easy. That was very easy. I think it was easier than QEMU. Other 64-bit. You have to give it. Oh well, let's just give it that just for now. What if we do this? Permanently. Oh, it's done. It's done. Good. That's what I wanted. So we shut this down. Now we export. Shut this down. Create virtual hard drive now. Do not add virtual hard drive. Use existing. I think we want VDMK. Huh, that's interesting. That means we could use the QEMU technique. Okay, let's Are you kidding me? It didn't even ask system. What? What did you do? How do you set the ISO file? You dummy. Oh, settings. System. We want 8. Oh, does this support 8 CPUs? 8 CPUs. Boot order. Okay. No floppy. CD. Chipset. PS2 mouse. IO APIC. Display. Storage. Primary IDE. Empty. Secondary live CD. SATA. Whoa, 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 whoa. How do we set the choose virtual disk file? Dropbox. Diana. TOS staff. Okay, let's power on. Start. Audio. Looks pretty fast. I think you do the left control. It seems pretty fast. QEMU is slow. VMware is a lot faster. Okay. So now we have to shut down. How do you shut down? Shut down. Now we have to change the boot order. Settings. System. Hard disk. Okay. Start. Capture. Okay, enough of this. What is it? Okay, now let's see if it does. No, no sound. You lied. You said there was sound. Power off. Settings. Audio. No, it doesn't have. Somebody said it had sound. It doesn't. No sound. Okay, it's worthless. Was it doing, let's see if it was doing 8 processors. Oh well. Let's check the web for okay, it looks like we have 8 processors. Looks like a good driver. My mom's. How do we get 5018? Uh-oh. So I have to upgrade Ubuntu. Okay, so so I'm tempted.
Tap the screen to support what you'll be listening to next. Wherever you browse on our site, the audio continues uninterrupted. Crude in Arley from 1978 until 1986, there were 16 world heavyweight champions. So I think that answers your question. What happened was when Arley started out, there were no sanctioning bodies. You were just a world heavyweight champion. When Arley finished, there were already 2 titles, and now we have 4 that are recognised. And 1 or 2 of those had 2 champions. It's split, it's all over the place, no one can follow it. When Arley fought Frazier, when Arley fought Foreman, when those guys mixed it up, when those guys fought each other in various outposts around the world, and this sounds like a cliche, and people that are not boxing fans will go, oh, please shut up. But the world did stop. I mean, let's establish that. When they were in Zaire for the Rumble in the Jungle and the Thriller in Manila, and when Frazier and Foreman were fighting in the Sunshine Showdown in Jamaica, let's get this right. The world did stop. The sporting world took a breath for the amount of time it took those two men in the room.
So, what do you think of VirtualBox? That's pretty funny. Okay, well, so I would growing up, I was a Reagan Republican teenager, and I used to I was kind of like mean-spirited elite, and I remember making fun of Cuba. But you know what I realized? You should compare Cuba to Mexico. When you're criticizing communism, you should compare Cuba to Mexico. It's pretty funny what happened to Venezuela. Ask the Pope about Venezuela. The Pope's a nigger. Mr. Pope, what do you think of Venezuela?
mezzo a tante attività permane la domanda, ma dove è fisso il mio cuore? Dove punta? Qual è il tesoro che cerca? Perché, dice Gesù, dove è il tuo tesoro, là sarà anche il tuo cuore.
Pope Francis said the priest who work on several fronts advice, which was summed up in 3 themes: seek out, include, and rejoice.
Il profeta Ezechiele ci ha ricordato che Dio stesso cerca le sue pecore, si avventura fuori dei luoghi del pascolo e fuori degli orari di lavoro e non si fa pagare gli straordinari.
The good priest, the Pope went on to explain, does not exclude anyone and is not afraid to get his hands dirty if that means none of the sheep of his flock perish.
Con sguardo amorevole e cuore di padre, accoglie, include e, quando deve correggere, è sempre per avvicinare. Nessuno disprezza, ma per tutti è pronto a sporcarsi le mani. Il buon pastore non conosce i guanti.
Finally, the Pope said the third aspect that should guide the life of the priest is joy. He said it is the joy that comes from knowing that nothing is more powerful than the love of God, which they transmit freely to others, and it holds them in times of difficulty.
Fino alla fine.
How about that, Mr. God? What's your favorite? You like beer? What do you think of beer, Mr. God? You like wine? With bubbles? Sex on the beach. Could you beat Kasparov? So Bill Gates says the Holy Grail is artificial intelligence. He's an atheist. What's he doing talking about the Holy Grail? What's the Holy Grail, Mr. God? So, could we build a nuclear fusion reactor from what's in the garage and what we could get from the hardware store, from Home Depot? Could you build a nuclear fusion reactor? What could we build from Home Depot? My parents are talking and listening. How about a garden? You got any gardening ideas? Yes, bro. So, you can't figure out the NIST. So, now we go to the NIST, and these are, the output is random hexadecimal numbers. This is the time, every minute they have a new batch of numbers. And if you want, you can check the numbers for a different minute if you click a link with the Unix time. So what I'm doing is I'm picking from 30 books using let's say a book is 3,000 characters, then I subtract 500 so that I don't get near the end, and then I print a passage that's then let's say I have two books that are 3,000. Then what I do is I add them up and I get 5,000, and then I pick a random number from 1 to 5,000, and then let's say it's 4,000, then that would be I subtract 25,000 from it, so then it would be 15,000. Or I screwed that up. Anyway. I was saying 1,000 instead of 500. Never mind. Anyway, so violence will I bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad. Is Sylvia dead? No, Valentine. No, Valentine, indeed, for sacred Sylvia hath she forsworn me. No Valentine, no Valentine. No Valentine if Sylvia has forsworn me. What is your news? Sir, there's a proclamation that you are vanished, that thou art vanished. Oh, that's the news. From hence, from Sylvia, and from me, thy friend. Oh, I have fed upon. I think maybe heart-shaped. So, I have to regenerate my website after midnight. I could do it by hand, but this is easier. So I'm just gonna regenerate everything. Let's find something to talk about.
Tap the screen to support what you'll be listening to next. Wherever you browse on our site, the audio continues uninterrupted. The world he would float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, and then he did it. As an amateur boxer, he was Olympic champion in 1960. As a professional, he became indisputable heavyweight champion, inimitable showman. But the progress was almost never smooth. In 1963, London's Henry Cooper almost shocked Cassius Clay, as he was then, before Clay had the chance to shock the world. The left hook which floored Clay made Cooper's reputation, even though the Englishman lost the fight. In 1964, Clay became world champion, beating Sonny Liston after weeks of taunting. He'd called the most feared fighter in the world a big ugly bear. Boxing had never heard nor seen anything like it. Having become world champion, Cassius Clay then ceased to be. He announced his conversion to Islam and changed his name. Why you insist on being called Muhammad Ali now? That's the name given to me by my leading teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's my original name. That's a black man name. Cassius Clay was my slave name. I'm no longer a slave. Ali's close association with the black Muslims under the influence of people like Malcolm X alienated him from much of 1960s America. His belief in separation of the races set him against supporters of the black Christian integrationist movement spearheaded by Martin Luther King. Some contemporary boxers continue to call Ali by his birth name, Cassius Clay, including Ernie Terrell. When he fought Terrell in 1967, Ali could be seen in the ring, insisting that Terrell address him by his new identity. What's my name? He says it over and over again. I want to know my name is Terrell. Who's for him after the bell? Oh, yeah, this is box 4. Ali defended his title, but refused to fight in the Vietnam War, declaring himself a conscientious objector. Now his opponent was the establishment. He was stripped of his title and sentenced to 5 years in jail. This was quashed on appeal, but a long ban from the ring followed. The comeback defined him. In 1974, Ali travelled to Zaire for perhaps the most famous boxing match of them all, the Rumble in the Jungle. Once again, Ali was fighting an opponent many perceived to be unbeatable. Up against the younger, bigger George Foreman, Ali did the extraordinary. He leaned back on the ropes, absorbed punches until his opponent was exhausted. It was daring to the point of reckless. Ali called it rope-a-dope. It worked. More fights followed, too many more. In the pursuit of money, badly advised, and losing the lean physique of his early years, Ali finally retired in 1980. The symptoms of Parkinson's disease were soon obvious. With a trembling hand, he lit the Olympic flame at the 1996 Games in Atlanta. He was still a charismatic presence. When he shuffled on stage to receive the BBC's Sports Personality of the Century Award, he stole the show. There was a time when Muhammad Ali could walk down any street in any village, any city, any continent, and he would be instantly recognized. The fame and influence he derived from the boxing ring knew no boundaries. Joe Wilson on Muhammad Ali, who has died at the age of 74. On the line is the British boxing promoter, Kelly Maloney. Kelly, take us ringside and the first time you saw him fight. What was that like?
Okay. Well, this is so, Mr. God, what do you think of the are they trying to find neutrinos? No, they're trying to find decay of protons. They have some underground water pools. What do you think of that, Mr. God? Are they having any luck? Mr. God says, $440. Is that gold I have? I'll make it as much more and leave this young man in pawn until I bring it you. After I have done what I promised, I, sir, well, give me the moiety. Are you a party in this business? In some sort, sir, but though my case be pitiful one, I hope I shall not be flayed out of it. Oh, that's the case of the shepherd's son. Hang him. He'll be made an example. Comfort, good comfort. We must to the king. I think they have light bulbs that look like pawns. if I'm not mistaken. Do they look like pawns? They're not rectangular grid. It's not like a chessboard. Davis results? What? Let's search Google. There we go.
It tells it that all that light is only about 1% of the energy liberated in the explosion. The rest of the energy is carried off by the most common and the most mysterious particle in the cosmos. The trillions of them passing through you right now. And yet, tracking down even one of them will take us to one of the strangest places on Earth. Spotting the wild neutrino is the rarest of sport. The lengths one must go to track them down is nothing short of astonishing. Welcome to Super Kamioka, subterranean Japanese neutrino detection chamber. We're more than a half mile beneath Earth's surface. You might ask, well, who in their right mind would bury an astronomical observatory so far underground? Those who hunt the most elusive raining down from when the supernova in the large through that half mile above us, it passed through the thousands of miles.
So God said, air is that gold I have. I'll make it as much more and leave this young man in pawn till I bring it you. Oh well, let's find. What do you think of what do you think of the Webb Space Telescope? What do you think of that? What do you think of the Webb Space Telescope? Now we go to here. $4,800. $4,800. all, thank heaven, I am going tomorrow, where I shall find a man who has not one agreeable quality, who has neither manner nor sense to recommend him. Stupid men are the only ones worth knowing after all. Take care, Lizzie. That speech savors strongly of disappointment. Before they were separated by the conclusion of the play, she had the unexpected happiness of an invitation to accompany her uncle and aunt in a tour of pleasure which they proposed taking in the summer. We have not determined how, if what? Let's give him the happy words. What if we put these words in there? Okay, let's do this. Cool. That's cool. Let's see what Stephen Hawking is up to.
Uganda is one of the countries that has hosted at least almost all popes that have reigned in the Vatican in the last 4 decades. The reason for this destination has been the recognition of the Uganda matters. The latest was Pope Francis, who visited Uganda in November last year. Pope Francis landed in Uganda on the 27th of November, 2000. I think we'll make a start. We delayed a little bit, thinking there might be a bit of traffic out there, but I think it's time to get underway. So, welcome to tonight. Thank you for coming. I see some alums here tonight. I see some long-time supporters of our school. I see current students, and it's just perfect to have you all. Tonight we're going to be talking about leadership, and when I think of our school and what we're about, developing leaders for service in society through business, government, and civil society, I'm thinking about a kind of a cross-cutting issue that goes across all those disciplines. And the kind of leadership we want to encourage here is this one of service to those kinds of groups and those institutions in our society. And it's a kind of a cross-cutting issue because it brings in the role of faith and what we believe about.
Gonna get a copyright notice. Hold on, he doesn't have rights to that.
Shoulder to shoulder with E.T. Williams. On my birthday, they have to stay and celebrate.
God, what do you think of indigenous people who fight against telescopes? Fuck them. Fuck them. Huh? $3.40. See, and Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On, bare unto him. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God said, He hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second he called Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land. Yeah, somebody just got telepathic. Wet telepathic. Okay, so
Tap the screen to support what you'll be listening to next. Wherever you browse on our site, the audio continues uninterrupted.
no radio. Okay, this doesn't look good. Fuck it. Okay, unless you can think of let's look at physics. So, what if I was a PhD person? So, I need to reinstall Linux. I need to upgrade. Then I can install VirtualBox, and then we can see if we have sound. You know, we could, I have a HDAudio driver that I wrote. I wrote an HDAudio driver. It used to work. The code is out of date. It needs to be modified. But I could see if I could get it working in VirtualBox. That does not sound like fun. What? Host audio driver. Oh. How do you make it full screen? Can you just, that's not it. Okay, it doesn't do full screen. So So we could go look at some old code and try to get this working again. We need a do we still have calc aligned? Yeah, we do. This used to allocate off of the uncached heap, dev uncached heap. We don't have dev uncached heap anymore. I'm correct, right? Let's see. F1. Dev, here we go. Dev globals. Where is CDev globals? Devices. Okay, we don't have uncached heap anymore. What's mem64 pointer? That's where my ID, I don't remember this at all, very much. Epic IDs. It should be listed in memory page tables. Okay, so here's the deal. Devices, memory, page tables. Let's look at okay. So I just added it to the help index. Now if we look at memory routines, the class for CDev globals. Okay, so let me explain what's going on. We don't use paging, so what we have is basically physical addresses, and this area, this is RAM, this is, well, this report, this is a report from the BIOS telling which areas of memory have RAM. Number one is RAM. So this is RAM here. This is RAM. This is RAM. This is RAM. And this is RAM. And the ones in here are some various devices. What we need for the HDAudio is a 32-bit device. We need some free memory map space for a 32-bit device. And what I have is allocate 32-bit device. This is supposed to give you some space for a 32-bit device. And what we need to do to get the HD audio working is we have to, we need an uncached chunk of, an uncached page of 32-bit addresses. I think it has to be 32-bit. If it can be 64-bit, that would be nice. But I think it has to be a 32-bit. We're going to look at HD audio. All these data sheets are in the Dropbox for The AC97 is not good. AC97 is a nightmare. HD audio is a lot easier than AC97. So where is the ICH? One of these ICHs has the HD audio. I'm looking for a high definition audio. Okay, so we have to, I think we need some 32-bit lower bass, upper bass. Let's check those. So the PCI space. Okay, in this data sheet, we're looking at the PCI config. These are PCI config space registers. They're not in-out ports and they're not memory. They're PCI config. And the way you access PCI config is with the PCI BIOS. So these PCI read-write, these are for the PCI config space. And what we're doing, we're allocating some device memory, and then we're setting 14 and 10 to the low and high. Okay, so it looks like it can be 64-bit, but why am I doing 32-bit? I don't know. Maybe I was being compatible with, no, what? Why am I doing 32-bit? I don't know. So it should be able to use 64-bit. Let's see what, down here they have the 10 and 14. Lower base address. Base address for Intel HD audio device controller memory mapped config registers. These are the config registers, the bar. Okay, so let's see if I identified. Okay, I was looking for, okay, we have to identify which bus device function. Okay. So let's shut this down. If you want to take a crack at a serious attempt at Okay, so we're looking for where the HD audio is. Intel Power Management High Definition Audio. Okay, it's bus 0, function 5, device 0, 050. ICH6. It's an ICH6 version, which is 403. This is the class. So, there are PCI class 4, class 4 number 3. Okay, so it's class 4-3. So if we wanted to automate this, we would search for a 4-3. Hey, look at that. Holy shit, I do that. I was just about to try this. We already have it. Okay. So you can search for a PCI device class and subclass. And then once you have that, you need to pass it has a bus device function. That's the what is that? Okay. So, it's been years since I did this code. Okay, so I have some how can we do this? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to my website. Stale. Files. History. This is TempleOS. We're going to go to OS main. We're going to get, we want the header file Atom 1A, copy, tad, home, paste. Now we shut down VirtualBox. Okay, so we pasted that. Now we do VM in. Now we start up VMware. We go to drive D, home, Atom 1A, SND, hopefully, no IO sound. Okay, so this is it. That doesn't look very intimidating. Is that... Okay, well, now we go to downloads. HDAudio. Let's put it in here. Okay, done. Now, well, I don't know if that's probably not the only thing that we need. We can start with that. Okay, it's kind of silly to remake it. No, it's not silly because we're going to put it on an ISO file. So this we want to delete, or we could just boot the change the boot order. System. Okay. So let me explain what's going on. So there's 3 different address spaces. There's memory address space, which is, you know, a lot of gigabytes, like I don't know, 512 gigabytes or something, memory address space. Then there's I/O ports, and there's only 65,000 I/O ports, and I do most of my interaction through I/O ports. And then there's PCI config space, and PCI config space is what you do with PCI config space is you set up some PCI config registers. There's a couple hundred of them for each device, and the PCI config registers are identified by a device, by a bus device family. Bus device family. Okay, so this is device 31 family 1. There's let's see if one of these other ones. A lot of these used to tell you up front what see how it says family. It has that notation at the top for SATA device 31 family 2, and if you do my PCI report, oh, let's not do that. It will tell you that so the first thing you have to do when you have a PCI device is find out where it's positioned, because they get shifted around each time they make an ICH chip. And I think AMD also makes ICH chips. They shift them around a little bit. So it might be family 31 one time, and then the next time it might be a different family, device 30, I don't know. So there's some special BIOS routines. This is a 32-bit BIOS. It's really weird. Nobody knows about this. Anyway, there's a 32-bit BIOS that lets you access the first you search for a class, and then once you have the class, it will tell you a device family PCI class code. You have to know it was 4.3. So once you find, it could have multiple of the same class, and I think that reports the very last. There's about, I don't know, 16. Oh, here we go. These are the different PC BIOS routines. There's one to read a byte, read a word, read a D word, write a byte, write a D word, write a word, write a D word. Oh, get IRQ routing. That could be useful. Set PCI IRQ. Find PCI class code. So you start here. You find what family and device and bus from this, and then once you have that, you want to write the bar. What we're doing is we're writing for the HDAudio. We're the first thing we want to do is wait, where are the registers? Oh, well. So, HDAudio. So these are the registers, and the first thing we want to do is to map the bar. Oh, there it is, the bar, low, bar, upper, lower and upper. So what that gives you is that opens up access to a whole new set of registers. And the new set of registers is they're in memory space, not so the bar registers are, once you set those, they're in memory space, I do believe. Regular memory space. Hold on a second. And we want to put them into 32-bit space. I don't, at least that's what I did in the past. I don't know if I had to. I probably had to, I thought. So, okay, we're gonna shut down output. So this that updates my in the Dropbox Diana TempleOS staff. That is my latest ISO. So we're going to boot the CD-ROM. And yes, yes, yes. Let's talk to God. Harder than it looks, delicious home. We've already got one liberal. I had a crazy dream. Break some whoop-ass on you. Gluttony, in theory, piety. Dance, dad, airhead. Downer, take the day off. Oil, pardon the French. Commanded, bring it on. Hardworking. You're welcome. How about that? What's the plan? Failure's not an option. Dignity, now that I think about it. Is that so? Give me praise, facepalm. Okay. Okay, it's going to reboot. So we want to shut down. Now we want to change the order. Start again. And now we want to so remember there's a bus device family. And this one we want device 5, family 0, and I think I was expecting an 8086 for the code. So we go to downloads, HD audio. That's not, oh, well, it's lying. So I think we were, oh shit. That's not, that hasn't been updated. Wait, cancel. Power off. Let's go to my website, Code Scraps. Oh, I did it on the wrong drive, son of a bitch. And we lost it. Yeah, that's what happened. Damn it, we have to start over. What a nightmare. Go to Drive D, Home, take these, go to Home, Downloads, HD audio. Okay, I did it to the wrong drive. Okay. I think we want to comment this out. 1B, what is that? Device 1B, that's 16 plus 11 is 27. Okay. So, we're done. I can't believe I wasted all that time. Okay, well, so let me continue to explain. So HD audio, so these files are, if Diana is listening, so in the Dropbox, Diana has not added this to her Dropbox. So there's the TempleOS staff, which is an exact copy. And then there's third party, and this has the data sheets. Anyway, so so number 8, that has an ICH6. So I'll tell you the little that I know about the PCI stuff. So there should be, let's see if I have some more. I could swear, oh, there's HDAudio. So the first thing you do is use the PCI BIOS to find the class code 4 sub 3, and then that'll give you the family and device. And then you go to the PCI config space and you assign bar. You assign some memory mapped space, and that's called the bar. And you need to be using uncached page table entries. Otherwise, for hardware I/O, you need uncached page table entries. So what we want is stuff that is, oh shit. We went over the line limit. Okay. I should have better error reporting if somebody else is going to be working with me. Okay, so you have to set the memory map, and you need buffers that are uncached. So what I do is I make a it has to be valid memory but uncached. That's what the DMA buffers have to be. That could be a problem. I don't know if I still have support for that operation. We're going to have to work on that. So in the okay, so what we need is some free space in the memory map, and I ask for 32-bit space. That's from the F0000000 area, and then we set the config space to to those. And those are, it's an HDA. What is an HDA? It's a global variable. I think I have. There it is. HDAudio. So I don't know if this is oh, this is not, this is my own okay. Bar, HDA bar. Okay, so the bar, so an underscore HDA is a global variable that I allocate. To be more standard, I should put this in the new syntax. CHD. It's pretty close. I think I should eliminate the underscore, and then it will be like how I do things. Anyway, so I could put an underscore on all my global variables, but I don't. Okay, so do I allocate the HDA from, okay, I kill it. Oh, I allocate the HDA, I Atom allocate it, acallic. Then I get some, okay, then later on I start asking for uncached memory. This is going to be a problem in on our new machine. We don't have, actually, why don't I go ahead and what we need is a page of a 2 meg page, and then turn it into a uncached heap. Why don't I abort and do that? First of all, let's see if we made progress. So we do stop. We're going to have to make an uncached heap. First of all, let's see if we made progress. I'm going to get rid of the underscore HDA. Oops. Oh. And I'll get rid of, it's a global variable, so okay, well, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna get rid of HDA dot. Oh, it has to be Atom. that's not a problem. Okay. Find. We want to replace HDA. HDA dot. Comma. Minus I plus. Okay, so the replace is normally cautious about labels before and after. About it has to be a non-alphanumeric before and after. Once you if you specify just before, because we have the arrow, we would normally get an alphanumeric after. Anyway, this I can't explain. Okay. So we go to we want to atom include. Oh, that could be a problem. So why don't we move this? Wait a minute, run. Oh, we have to, okay. I think we already have that triangle stuff, don't we? The waveform. Okay, so I kind of screwed it up because reverb buffer. Okay. Sound reverb buffer. Are these defined? Yes, they are. So the waveforms are defined. So sound reverb buffer. So we stop this. We have to go find out what that is. Sound reverb buffer. So I think it's a global variable. It could be in HD. Okay, so we go to TAD, stale, files, history, 12, SparrowOS, OS main. So maybe the reverb buffer. Why don't I? Oh, yeah, let's do that. Okay. So I copy C into temp. And now I go to the terminal. And I say TOSC Atom1 C. Okay, and now we look for Control F, sound reverb buffer. Okay, all this stuff. Where's the sound reverb buffer? Okay, why don't I just copy this? Into open. Okay, we're going to put it into into here, we put this into here, and OS globals. Now we cd /temp. That's unzip OS globals.cpp.z. Now we go to here. Control F, sound. There's an uncached heap. Oh, there's more. These are function pointers. So the reverb buffer has to be somewhere. Let's just put all these into copy, and then we go to home, temp, paste, and now we I wish I knew how to use grep. It might be in SND. CPP.z. I think we need this. I don't see reverb buffer. It's possible that's a later addition. Oh shit, did I just put it in here? Damn it. What is your problem here? Hey? Okay. Oh, you son of a bitch. There it is. Okay. Now we have to find reverb buffer. Sound file, maybe? Okay. Control F, sound, reverb. Open. Control F, sound, reverb buffer. Damn it. So, do you guys know how to, let's see. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the stale files, history. I'm gonna take all these files. I'm gonna put them into temp. Meaningful. Damn it. Copy, temp, paste. Okay, now I'm going to I want to run You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut down